And good morning, people. Welcome back to Star Ocean, till the end of time. Last time we had a lot of plot dumped on us. Quite a bit. So we defeated Vox, and we suddenly had the Vendini show up in their big ship and decimate the place. And Dion got hurt, Amina, so we got Amina and Dion together, and unfortunately they died side by side. The one saving grace for that is, you might remember that Dion told Nell to take out a wreath of Palmyra, the Palmyra flowers. Yeah, I like to think that with his combined with Amina's back in Paterni, that it made up exactly 1,000 flowers. So they had their wish. The war was over, and they got to see each other again at the end of it. That's the only thing that I think can save that. Of course, then we had another ship turn up, and we met up with Maria, who decided to battle it and took on a losing battle, but teleport down to us, and now we have her in our team. You might notice that she has very low HP, 900, compared to Roger, who is 14 levels below her. She only has 60 more, but she does have a lot of MP. There's a reason for that. Symbology. She does come with symbology. As you might remember, she has the ability to manipulate the matter, and yeah, it's actually reflected in her skills. She comes with protection straight off, increase ace defense, so she manipulates matter to increase the defense of the party. She also comes with, I believe her next two symbologies are power up, which increases the attack power, and reflection, which increases the defense power, magic defense power. So that's where she's using her symbology. She has other skills which we'll find out in the future as well. Equipment wise, she is the one that uses these guns. That's actually, yeah. She uses the blaze. She uses micro blasters or the blaze gun, which I bought earlier, which adds fire damage. That isn't as useful as you might think now, because we're going up against enemies in the next bits that are actually a bit less damaged by fire, but we'll get to that eventually. What am I going to give her? Well, regeneration symbols. They are pretty much the best things going. I really don't have anything else that really comes close at the moment. Symbols of courage are okay with the battle gauge increase, but I've got two of them equipped already. Charm of insight +5 critical rate, no. That's okay for the damage increase, but I'd rather have the MP recovery. Skill wise, because she attacks at range, her skills generally do mirror that. Aiming device is a long range attack. She fires her gun at range. It's pretty much a sniping rifle, and it has the chance to confuse the enemy, and they will go around doing pretty much nothing for a little while. Scatter Beam is a short range option. She does come with a lot of short range attacks, so don't think you're safe when you're up close with her, against her. She has some pretty damaging attacks. Scatter Beam, the closer you are, the more things that hit. It's a lot like Nell's Ice Daggers and a few other skills. And she also comes with standby healing and 190 SP, which should not be a surprise that I'm going for quite a few in HP, considering her low pool. Nothing there really. We'll learn about Moriarty later. Anyways, one thing I am going to do. Yes, Maria is actually one of the characters I sometimes use. Not a heck of a lot, but she can. I do use her. Now I need to change Fate and... Yeah, because technically, if you really want to go into things with me in RPGs, I do like the ranged characters quite a bit. Nell's a bit of an odd one because I like playing with her quite a bit more, and she's primarily close range, but that's another story anyways. Anything else about Maria? Not really that much. Oh yeah, colour setup. That's her second skin. It's basically a Clausian battle outfit, similar to what Cliff wears and Mirage wears. Just with the short skirt because, well, that's her natural dress. We'll keep her with her normal though. Did I show Adrace actually? Yeah, that's his second skin, in case I didn't show it. Anyways, we now need to go and speak to the Queen because we need to apprise her, give her the situation. So let's go and speak to her, shall we? I do have a few other things I need to do before I can do too much, but Queen first, because it's actually you aren't actually leave the town until you've spoken to the Queen. So let's go and speak to her. There we go.
Your Majesty, they said they would explain the situation.
Very well.
You say you're from another world. You ask us to believe this. Nonsense. Stop wasting Her Majesty's time.
Silence, Lascelles.
Your Majesty.
I understand your surprise, but what we speak is the truth.
This is quite sudden, not to mention quite difficult to believe. However, recent events in our country leave me with no choice but to believe.
Your Majesty, these people can be trusted. I believe they are telling the truth.
And you say this new enemy will return again? Why would that be?
I think that I am their objective.
So, you are the cause of this entire affair?
I don't want to believe it myself, but yes.
Then all we have to do is hand you over to them. Then they will go home, no?
Lascelles, you are to remain silent.
Your Majesty.
Can we fight these Vendini with our thunder arrow?
I can't be sure, but I believe so. The Thunder Arrow would divert the Vendini long enough for us to leave the planet and fix this situation.
For the sake of our country, it might indeed be best to simply hand you over to them. However, you are our guest. It would not be proper for us to abandon you now.
Your Majesty, you mean...
Yes. We shall let you use the Thunder Arrow.
Your Majesty, thank you very much.
We are grateful, Your Majesty.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do about the range problem? It's not much good to us if we can't reach them.
Yeah, I know.
We've got a problem!
Watch your tone. You are in the presence of Her Majesty the Queen.
Someone has infiltrated Kadan.
What?
Who?
It was one of those celestial ships, Your Majesty. They landed right next to the shrine. We believe they're headed for the Sacred Orb.
The Sacred Orb?
They wear a strange kind of armor and are equipped with weapons that emit glowing beams of light. The runologists have them stopped for the moment, but they can't do anything against those weapons. At this rate, they'll be at the Sacred Orb in no time.
Glowing weapons. Those would be disruptor rifles. They must be remnants of the Vendini fleet.
If that's the case, why are they going after the orb instead of us?
What's Kadan and what's this Sacred Orb?
Kadan is the holy land of our church. It's where the Sacred Orb is enshrined, a mysterious sphere that emits the purest light. Holy water flows freely from it. It is said that in the hands of Aquaria's ruler, the orb is capable of all kinds of miracles. The waters of this lake which surround Aquios are also of the Sacred Orb.
Your Majesty, which way is Kadan?
To the east of Aquios.
I see. Interesting. What in the world?
What is it?
I'm picking up an energy reading in the location you described that is too technologically advanced for this planet. It's even beyond our ability to identify.
What?
It may be a so-called out-of-place artifact, or OPA. I bet the Vendini detected this Sacred Orb while they were searching for us.
So you think they're after the Sacred Orb?
It's the most likely explanation. If you look back at history, anyone who got their hands on OPAs acquired incredible power. It would pretty much go without saying they'd want it.
That's terrible. We can't let them steal our Sacred Orb. Your Majesty, we must send soldiers immediately.
Yes. Take your unit and make for Kadan at once.
Your Majesty.
Please, wait a moment, Your Majesty.
We are sorry, but we must attend to your business later. Responding to these thieves at Kadan must take precedence.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Aquaria's military could stand up to them with their current equipment.
We are aware of this, but we cannot let them steal the Sacred Orb.
Look, I'll go to Kadan.
What are you thinking?
It's my fault the Vendini ever came here in the first place. I have to accept responsibility somehow.
Hey, wait a second. You mean we, right? You planning on going there alone?
He's right. Going alone would be suicidal. If you die, then I've come here for nothing. I'm going too.
Thank you.
Very well. Then we shall leave it to you.
Your Majesty, I'll go with them as well.
Yes, please do. As the situation is grave, we give you permission to use the sealed cavern. Show them the way.
The sealed cavern?
Yes, it is a place in which only members of the royal family are allowed. But I'm making an exception. Do not fail us.
Your Majesty.
So, a new problem appears. The Sacred Orb, or out-of-place artifact. Yeah, we'll be learning, doing a lot with that thing, but first we need to go and save it. So, let's not do that actually. Yeah, let's go and dawdle around the other place, some other places first, because that's the best way of going in these things. First thing I want to do is go to Paterni. Now that we've spoken to the Queen, we can actually go there. So let's head out, and I will meet you there. I have a few things I want to talk to people about. Quick short trip down to Paterni, but no, we won't be stopping. Well, we won't be staying here too long. All I want to do is talk to this gentleman here. He's a bit of a gossip. It's a groundless rumour. Yeah, I would really like to hear it. So, what's the rumour? Mexicans from Kingdom of Greeton, that would be Fate and Cliff, being pursued by someone. Well, that's sort of correct. Punish them for divulging their kingdom's secrets. That's not correct though. And the Celestial Ship being a new weapon from the Kingdom of Greeton is not correct. So, one bit is true, but two parts are quite false. However, how are the people in this world to know about it? So, yeah. Plus, the Kingdom of Greeton has been quite quiet. They've cut themselves off from the rest of the world. We can't even go there. They're to the east of Paterni. And we never will go there, so it's a good question if they'll actually be able to do anything. Anyway, next, off to Arius. And here we are in Arius. The person I want to speak to is actually in the graveyard. It's Maria. Bit of a morbid place for us to be meeting up with her. And possibly beforehand as well. Probably grew a little bit. Something we experience in a 3D monitor. Even we as people in this place and time, we don't hear about the world out and the wars. We really only see it through a TV screen, through the eyes of the media. We don't really know the true cost. So yeah, this is, speaking for real world applications, much more than you would normally think in a game. And if Fate was to unleash his true power, Yeah, we had just a small glimpse of what he could do when he destroyed that Vendini battleship. How many people, how many Vendini did he kill through that just one act? Which was completely spontaneous, really. If he had control of the power, what could he do? However, there should be a way to control it. Control the power, not let it control you. It's the person that's wielding the power that makes the decision. And if he decides to do it for good, who really knows? Who knows what good is, actually. But if he makes a way to control it and make it so it doesn't do all these terrible things, it's not a problem. Same goes for Maria. She probably has not thought about it in that case, because actually we haven't actually seen what Maria's power can truly do yet, or how it's awoken for her. I wonder when she's actually going to say that, talk about that. Yeah. Anyways, off to Cursa. Right, in Cursa, you might remember a certain girl I spoke about when we first came here. But first, I want to talk to these little kids, because, well, they've been right about other things so far. We've had Nell and Shelby. Then we had Vox and Claire. Now we've got Count Walter, who has been away from home recently, but doesn't say anyone from Aquaria. So possibly it's not a fight, but we are dealing with him. Yeah. Anyways, into this house, and yeah, you might remember this girl who was quite unrealistic. We need to talk to her again, because she's heard quite a horrifying rumour. Did the Aquarian forces really commit suicide by blowing themselves up and taking the Aeroglyph army with them? That is quite a terrible way for them to win if they did that way. But really, who did win this war? I can't think of anyone. But we've got to deny this rumour, because it simply is not true in the slightest. Completely new third power that entered the war. Yeah, extra careful when being misled, because if you pass them on, they become quite the pain to anyone who might have lost loved ones in the war, they think. They get angry at people, and it can spread to even worse wars in the future. And she becomes somewhat more realistic. She'll make her own choice about whether anything is true or false. Anyways, I could go back to Aeroglyph, buy some weapons, but and back into the castle we are. We need to go to the chapel, because that is where the way to Kudan will be opened. So there's our passageway. Built quite a while ago. And as things normally happen in games, when things have been taken a while, the things tend to turn up and live inside. This is no different. We need to go down it though. You might notice the statues on the side. I believe they're depictions of the queen that was in, that was ruling at the time this passageway was built. There is actually nothing in this corridor itself, but we will soon be reaching probably my favourite, my first favourite grinding spot of the game. If we go up through this door and up here, all we need to do is go through this door. Formation, I need to go to Fate because I want to show what the enemy is. That is, yeah, it's one of these rock creatures.
Okay.
This is probably one of the best monsters to grind on at this point in time. Notice the 110% rate on the bonus gauge. That means we can actually get the bonus gauge happening on this. So we can get triple XP. That's not all though. 27,000 hit points, 15,000, 1,500 MP, and weak against water. Also weak against sidekick. And I'm not joking when that is just too spammable. 300 XP. With triple XP, that's 900. So, plus it does come with other enemies, so you're sort of looking at 1,040 for the best group with triple XP on. Pretty nice return. So what I'll be doing is I will be grinding in this spot for quite a while. My characters will probably be 35 and 30 by the end of my grinding here. There are items, some blueberries and some cooking ingredients, but they're not too important. So yeah, the reason why it's one of my favourite spots is because I face that, I just exit, enter again, and there it is. You can get a lot of experience very quickly. So I'll be doing that. So until next time, when my leveling will be complete, and I think I'll go over to the Aquatic Gardens of Sefario and do what's in there, the optional area. So until then, have a wonderful day, have lots of fun, goodbye.